Florida has a lot of home builders, but what if I told you they're just like car brands? In this video, I'm going to compare Florida's top builders to the car brands that you already know. So you instantly get who's reliable, who's flashy, and who is built for luxury here in Florida. Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Zakos. I am born and raised right here in Florida's Gulf Coast in Sarasota, Florida. I work every day with relocation buyers trying to figure out not just where to live, but also which builder actually fits their lifestyle and their budget. And the truth is, each builder has its own personality, just like cars. So in the next few minutes, I'll walk you through entry-level builders, mid-tier options, and the luxury and custom names, and I'll show you exactly which car brands they remind me of. And to make these comparisons, I didn't just pick car brands at random. I based them on a few key factors. First, I looked at the median price point of each builder here in the Sarasota, Manatee County area where I reside and where we work, and matched that to the typical price range of all the different car brands. Then I layered on top of that their volume and reputation. Like, are they a high production builder like Lennar or DR Horton, or a boutique custom builder like John Cannon? Finally, I considered the style and buyer experience. Some builders are dependable and practical, then some are obviously flashier, and others are truly luxury. With that framework, the car brand comparisons just make sense, and I like that because you probably have greater knowledge of these car brands and what they represent rather than the builder. So comparing these builders to car brands is a comparison that I think that needs to exist to help you understand these builders. So first, I'm going to start with the entry-level builders. I'm going to talk about Ryan Homes, Lennar, DR Horton, and so on. So for Ryan Homes, and starting off, I'm going to compare them to the Dodge and Chrysler. They're budget friendly, they're known for affordability, but sometimes have mixed reviews on their finishes and build quality. Ryan Homes has home communities in Lakewood Ranch as well as Parish, and even down south as well. Next, I want to talk through Lennar. Lennar I compare to Chevrolet. They are the everywhere builder. They're reliable, affordable, very common in Florida and master plan communities like Lakewood Ranch. Some cookie cutter feels, but very accessible. And just like Chevrolet has the Corvette, Lennar has some communities where they offer a better product, like Calusa Country Club, Bowling Park Golf and Country Club, a little bit more luxury, tile roofs, things like that. So they have kind of both sides of that coin. Just like Lennar, I want to talk about DR Horton. DR Horton would be Ford, America's #1 builder by units. They're known for their affordability, their availability, and straightforward builds. They're strong in suburban and family-oriented markets. And just like Ford has that King Ranch, Chevrolet has the Corvette, DR Horton has this top tier line series called the Emerald series that has higher end finishes, higher ceilings, higher doorways, things like that that make it a little bit more luxurious feel. So just because it's DR Horton, just because it's Lennar, doesn't mean that they don't offer a more luxury option. The next home I want to talk about is Mattamy Homes. Mattamy I would compare to a Mazda. Modern, lifestyle driven, sleek community designs. They're popular with relocators, strong neighborhood aesthetics, and very strong amenities in some of their communities. When I think of Mattamy, I think of affordable, practical, with a slight elevation, some finishes, especially in communities that are the resort-like communities like Brightmoor, Sunstone, and other communities that they're offering down in Welland Park. Now let's talk about that reliable mid-tier Florida staple home builders. The first home builder that I wanted to talk about is probably one of my favorites, and obviously one of your favorites too, and that is Neal. I would equate Neal to Toyota. Neal also has a more elevated, luxurious, semi-custom home tier. And I would relate that to Lexus. So just like Toyota and Lexus are very similar under the hood, so is Neal. Neal's signature, just with a lot more customality and luxurious finishes than you would have. When I think of Neal, I think of the backbone of Southwest Florida building. It equals reliable, trusted, affordable. And with Neal's signature, you're getting that higher finishes, the semi-custom, and the luxury as well. So Neal's a great staple for here in the Southwest Florida, especially. And then next at the same level and a direct competition would be the Pulte, DiVosta, Del Webb, all kind of the same ownership group. I would equate them to Honda. The broad appeal, the practical, the functional, the durable builds, and they're excellent for families and retirees. You cannot go wrong with a Pulte community, a DiVosta community, or a Del Webb. In the same kind of bucket, I would also link MI Homes in. I would equate this to Nissan, Affinity, that brand package. Affordable with good warranties, not as common or as Lennar or the DR Hortons, but they're very strong in value, and I would expect more high finishes with an MI product. So the next home builder I want to talk about in this tier is Taylor Morrison. Taylor Morrison Morrison has been a staple, and they've been very well respected over throughout the years. Taylor Morrison builds some wonderful communities, especially that Esplanade product here in town. There's Esplanade Azario, Esplanade Golf and Country Club here in Lakewood Ranch, and then they're actually looking at launching an Esplanade in Welland Park here in the near future, and there's an Esplanade Palmer Ranch and so on. So Taylor Morrison has a mix of very affordable communities, but then these all luxury resort style communities as well. I would put them as the same brand as Volkswagen, and I did that intentionally because Volkswagen over the years has had a very good reputable past. They're very well respected. You can get into them very affordably, but then obviously can go up in pricing. What I also thought was a good correlation was they've been very well respected historically, but in recent years, there's been a little bit of cloudiness and some pessimism along with the brand. Obviously, we know that with Volkswagen, and then Taylor Morrison, I think they've hit some growing pains post-COVID. So there's been some negative feedback and cloudiness over the Taylor Morrison brand as a whole, but again, great product, great communities, so you can't go wrong there with a Volkswagen or with a Taylor Morrison product. The next builder I want to talk about in this tier is David Weekley. Smaller builder than the Taylor Morrisons, the MIs, the Mattamys, and those type of builders, but very family friendly, thoughtful layouts, great service, great warranties, everything you would expect with that kind of more concierge, smaller brand. I link them to a Subaru. You know exactly what you're going to get. It's not flashy, not necessarily luxurious, but something that you would expect dependability. It's something that you can rely on and is super dependable. Great communities that they're building, small communities, something that would relate to both families as well as retirees that are looking to downsize. So David Weekley is there. And then we're going to dive into some of these more luxurious, semi-custom builders as well as brands. The first ones that I want to highlight are Homes by Towne and Homes by WestBay. I would equate them to Audi. They're sleek, stylish, well-designed homes with a very good reputation. Not as mass market as Lennar, or Horton, but they are positioned for buyers who want distinctive style and a touch of luxury without going full custom. Another brand that is similar to this would be Toll Brothers and ICI Homes. I would equate these two builders to BMW. They're prestigious home builders with strong national brands. They're premium cost, high quality designs, and they have wonderful curb appeal, much like the BMW. The next one I want to talk about is Stock. I would equate Stock a little bit higher than the other ones. I would equate them to a Mercedes-Benz. They're refined, they're elegant, they're classy, and they're consistently associated with luxury. These brands appeal to higher net worth buyers who want prestige in an established community. So when I think of Stock, I think of the Lake Club, which is the highest price point community in Lakewood Ranch, and now Wild Blue. They're building some wonderful homes and a wonderful product here in Wild Blue and Lakewood Ranch as well. So if you want that luxurious appeal and you're going to pay for it because of their finishes, and Stock, Mercedes-Benz is a great comparison. Then the true custom homes here in the area where you can't build a home for under $2 million in the area. That would be the Lee Wetheringtons, the Arthur Ruttenbergs, the John Cannons. These type of full custom home builders I would equate to the luxurious brands of like Bentley, Ferrari, and so on. Ultra luxury custom homes, bespoke design, handcrafted feel, exclusivity, and maximum prestige. That's what you would expect with Lee Wetherington, John Cannon. The Lee Wetherington and John Cannon homes are winning prestigious awards year over year here in the area. There's other builders too that are custom builders like Trinity Construction, where they're building these immaculate homes on the water. Christner Brothers here locally, some wonderful custom builders here in the area that are the epitome of luxury and design here. So every builder has its pros and cons, and in some communities, the builders are better than other builders. And then there's some communities where the same builder is better in one community than the other community. So you really need to know the nuances. Just like D.R. Horton has Emerald and Lennar has Lorraine Lakes, and the Spitting right around the corner has Lakewood National. Two communities, same builder, vastly different appeals. These builders have their own little nuances in and throughout them. So this is kind of a generalization, but it does give you an idea. I am constantly being asked, how would I rank the builders here in the area? Where does Taylor Morrison fit in? Or where does MI fit in? Or where does D.R. Horton sit? I thought about this list because I think it would give you some great context and a great idea of where these builders relate, because everyone knows car brands and has their own subjectivity and image when it comes to depicting what that brand is in the reference for cars. I hope this video helps in understanding what that is. But again, you need someone in your corner that knows these communities, that knows these builders, and help you determine not only what builder, but what builder fits your lifestyle, your home goals, and your budget. There's a puzzle to be made, and you need someone that has worked with all these builders and all these communities that has your back and can help you. Check out our website. We have some wonderful area guides that you can download. We have tax guides, relocation guides, area guides. We also have an area quiz. We have so much going on that's for free that you can shoot over there. The link's in the description below, so check that out. I hope this video is a resource for you. Feel free to call, text, email, comment below, as I'm curious to hear if you agree with my take on the builders versus the car brands. And if you have anything that I missed, maybe I missed a builder that you want me to add, or you have want my thoughts on, I'm more than happy to talk through that with you. So shoot me a call, text, email, and I look forward to talking to you soon.